Dude, that was hilarious. Yo, live in this group again. What's up?
What's going on, guys?
I'm excited. Haven't gone live in this group in about, it's been a long time, man. It's been a long time since I've been live in this group. We might get 0 viewers, dude. It's all good though. You guys can catch the replay if you don't want to hear us talk right now. So we're not going to start talking our shit until we get some people coming on. Damn, why is it saying comment from Facebook? See, that's why I got to be on my phone. Mauricio, what's up? What's up? All right, hold on. Let me shut the sound off so I can see the comments. Yo, I'm excited, dude. I haven't been live in this group in a fucking long time. What is going on?
We got 7 people on right now.
Nice. 7.
We got Daniel. Oh, we got Dean.
Brian, why are you watching our own live, bro?
Dude, well, that's because I have to see who's on it. And if I do it on my phone, it's less.
John, what's up? Dean, what's going on?
What's up, Devin?
Did I pronounce that correctly? Donovan, what's up if you're still on here? Devin said Brian's glasses are on point. I actually think they look kind of fucking wacky, but I guess everybody's
thank you, Devin. I appreciate it. You don't have to be like they're blue light blocking, man. So they keep me from getting headache during the day.
The new generation with blue light and shit. Chad, what's up? What's up? Braden, Peter, what's going on? Oh, give me 1 second. Packages here. Hold on.
Oh my goodness.
It's actually not mine.
Oh my gosh. All right, guys. We're super pumped for what we're going to talk about today. If you can see the title, it's why 99% of your agencies are failing.
Sorry, right now. My USPS package just came. All right, so, dude, I noticed I just very abruptly interrupt you whenever you speak.
Yeah, I'm used to it at this point.
All right, cool. You don't really have a say in the matter, so. Gustin, what's up? Let's see who else we got on here. Jiraj, I don't know if I pronounced that correctly.
What's going on, Chad?
What's up, everybody? I'm excited, man. I'm fucking stoked for this live, bro. Roberto, what's up? Yeah, if you guys are watching this, you got to let us know that you're alive and kicking. So give us a comment, give us a hashtag live, give us a hashtag whatever you're feeling, agency, sales, whatever you're into. Let us know you're alive. Let us know you're here. So we've got about 15 people on right now. Daniel said, let the man speak.
Thank you, Daniel.
You've got supporters, bro. You've got supporters. They're genuinely looking out for you.
Hashtag Team Brian in the comments.
Nah, dude. We're causing some fucking divide over here.
Oh, my
goodness. Zoe, what's up? All right, so. Dude, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready, man. Give us an intro into this.
All right, guys. So Mauricio said badass. Yeah, sometimes. So as you guys could tell from the title of this live, we are talking about why 99.999% of all agencies fail and are failing currently, and why you will probably fail too if you don't fix this error that 99% of agencies are making. So, Brian, you want to start off, and then we'll just kind of bounce off each other?
Yeah, man. Why don't you give me like, why don't you start out like the actual topic, and then I'll chime in.
All right. So, guys, Brian and I talk to a lot of people, and me personally, I've spoken to, I want to say dozens, but probably hundreds of fellow agency owners over the past couple months, and everybody's situation is different. Everybody's got different things going on. Everybody has different strengths and weaknesses, right? Everybody's unique. However, the one thing that's remained the same is what a lot of people are saying, okay? And I consistently hear the same thing, which is, hey, you know, I really think I could use some help. You know, I really think a mentor would change the way my business and life are operating, but I'm going to go and get a couple clients first, and then I'm going to go and hire a mentor.
Mm-hmm.
So today, guys, what Brian and I want to talk about is why that mindset and that mentality is an absolute lie It's a scam that your brain is actually playing. It's a trick that your brain's playing on you.
To keep us safe, right? Like our brains want to keep us safe. So
Yep.
we're adherent. We don't like it.
Yep, 100%. Because your brain is afraid. Your brain is fearing doing something you've never done before. So it's actually a defense and a safety mechanism that your brain does to keep you from doing that thing that it just doesn't want you to do.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see here. Who's live? Who's watching?
And I think there's 2 points we should dive into here, Sebastian.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Point number 1 is if you wait for something to be fixed before you, like, we'll talk about some analogies and like why it's so poor to wait until you get clients before investing in yourself.
Yep.
And the difference between like waiting till you get clients as a mindset versus like, I need to make sure this is something that I actually want mindset. Because those are 2 different things, right?
100%.
And then number 2, why not investing in yourself and taking risk is going to kill your opportunity with clients in the future, and why that's just going to destroy you. So I'll dive into number 1 first. I thought of an analogy, and it's like an interesting one, but I think it correlates pretty well. So let's say like your car was broken, okay, completely broken down, couldn't really drive it anywhere. Obviously, like you need to take it to an auto body shop to get it fixed, right? Because they know what they're doing. And so imagine if you were talking to your friend and your car was broken. You were like, yeah, actually, man, like I'm just going to wait until my car like fixes itself and then I'll take it to the auto body shop. Like after the engine's working again, like then I'll do it. I'm going to go tinker around with it. I'm sure like eventually I'll figure it out. So yeah, in a few months, like once I've watched enough YouTube videos and like figure out how to fix the engine, then I'll take it to the auto body shop.
I love that, dude. And the reason why I love that car analogy is because it's so similar. It's nearly identical to what we're talking about. Because if you want to translate it over to your situation, guys, for those of you that are watching, your car, in this case, your vehicle, is your financial vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
It's the vehicle that you're utilizing to achieve whatever financial goals that you have. And if that vehicle is broken, like Brian said, that mentality of I'm just going to go fix it myself instead of having a mechanic fix the car, your car will never run. It's never going to run.
And yeah, it's interesting, man. Like I think back to my experience, and like Daniel said, are we talking about people with 0 clients or multiple clients? It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, both.
I think back to my like experience investing with mentors, and after I worked with you, I went and got a few clients pretty quick, but my shit was still broken. Yep. Right? Like my car slugged along a few miles and I got a few clients, but I wasn't in a place where I was like ready to explode. I wasn't about to scale anytime soon. And when I had that opportunity to work with another set of mentors, at the time, I wasn't in a good place financially to do that. Like I had bills, I had rent, like it made me very stressed financially. And honestly, man, if I would have said at that time, I'll come back to you once I've saved the money, I would have never come back to them, or I would still be trying to save the money. And I would be in a terrible place right now. Same for you. Like, and so by saying I'm going to wait till I save the money, all you're doing is delaying your success. And honestly, if you understand the principle of opportunity cost, it's more expensive not to make the investment in yourself than it is to save up. Meaning like, sure, you might save the money over 3-4 months by like saving. But if you would have started working with that person on day 1, you could be potentially making 10x what you're making now. So really it's costing you way more than you realize. But talking about that, we dropped like 10 viewers. So apparently nobody really wanted to hear about it.
You know why people don't want to hear it, dude? Because it's the truth.
Yeah, it is a tough one.
And unfortunately, the truth sometimes can strike emotional chords that might cause you a little bit of pain. But if you never feel any pain, guys, you will never change. You will never actually take action and do what it is you need to do. So it's interesting, right? Because what people don't understand, right, is like when we hear these things, right? Devin said, "I'm still here." Awesome, dude. So
that's because, dude. Think about what Devin. We're not gonna say anything specific, but like, think about what Devin just did, dude.
that's true, yeah. So
The dude's ready to change the game.
yeah, 100%. So here's the thing, guys. If you're saying, and this might be you, it might not, but when people say, hey, you know, I'm going to go and get a couple clients first, make a little bit of money, and then I'll go hire a mentor, then I'll go get help, right? Here's the problem. The inherent issue with that is that what you're doing is not working. You're saying that you're going to do X, Y, Z to get clients and then hire a mentor.
Here's another analogy, Sebastian.
Huh?
I got another analogy.
Okay, let's hear it.
Let's say somebody's 50 pounds overweight, okay?
Oh, yeah.
Say this. Oh, actually, I'm going to drop 50 pounds, then I'm going to hire a personal trainer.
Thank you.
Like, what? And the only reason we say that is because, like, it's a good justification, right? It's a good way to, like, delay that difficult decision that we have to make. And so, like, it's important that it's important that you understand whether or not you actually want to do something, right? It's like that other point. And so if somebody's like okay being 50 pounds overweight and they just kind of want to lose weight, they shouldn't hire a personal trainer,
100%.
right? If you like are getting started in entrepreneurship and in your head you're like, oh, I'm just kind of curious, like I'm just poking around, then like you shouldn't invest any money into it. Like if you're just looking around, you could do that for free. But once you make that decision, like this is something I actually want, every single day you're not investing into yourself, it's costing you thousands of dollars.
Yep. 100%. Now, two things I want to touch on. One, you talked about that mindset of just being curious and not actually wanting to be an entrepreneur. A lot of times I talk to people that are like in a situation where they kind of want to test the waters of entrepreneurship, but, and this is how their mindset is wired, worst case scenario, they can always just go back to that job. They've created that safety net for themselves. That's why most people never actually succeed as entrepreneurs, because they have a safety net. And this is obviously, this could be another topic for a totally separate live video, but if you have that safety net, you'll never feel like you must, because you want to put yourself in a position where either you succeed or you die and you starve, right? So let's see the comments real quick. So
Daniel said, if they have clients already, something works after all. I don't know if you're coming at that like trying to like prove us wrong.
I know what he's saying. I know what he's saying. And so here's what,
from my experience, like when I got my first few clients, yeah, like I did get those clients, but dude, my shit was still broken. Like I had no systems and processes. Like I didn't understand business well. There were so many things that I didn't know yet that like I wouldn't have learned if I didn't work with somebody who did know those things.
Yeah, it's the same thing for me, dude. Like most people know my kind of story of how I got started. I was still, and again, guys, if you never believe me or you always think I'm bullshitting, you can go and watch my YouTube videos from last year, around this time of last year.
You guys are cringe.
Yeah, exactly. I would probably say don't watch them if you. So I was still pitching clients at $300, $400 a month, right? And yeah, did I pick up clients pretty quickly? Yes. Did I get 3 clients in the span of like a month? Yes. Was it a good situation? Hell freaking no. Hell no. So Daniel, to answer your question, because I definitely get where you're coming from. So what you need to do is define, failing, because even if you have a couple clients, right, but you're stuck at that phase of only having 1 to 2 to 3 clients for X amount of time, then obviously something's wrong in your ability to scale, right? So there's different sets of problems, right? There's a whole set of problems for somebody that can't get clients. There's a different set of problems for people that have a couple clients but can't get past that barrier. And Brian and I know that all too well, because we scaled both of our businesses to a certain amount, and then we were literally stuck for months. We couldn't break past these certain barriers of like 10 to 15K a month, but with the right guidance, that's when you can break through it and get to that $40, $50, $60,000 a month mark. So just to be clear, man, like, because again, I definitely understand where you're coming from. But there are different sets of problems, because you can be failing at a stage of 0 clients, but you can also be failing at a stage of 3 or 4 clients.
Yeah. And especially in our industry, like Daniel, to your point, I really do believe like anybody could get to, Sebastian, would you say like 6, 7, 8K a month haphazardly, or like I think anybody could do that regardless of where they're at if you put in enough work. So I think everybody can do that for sure. Like that's kind of what we did when we first started. But every single income level that you hit, there's a new set of problems associated. And so like once you hit that problem, you can either try and figure it out on your own, or you can just talk to somebody who's already figured it out. And one's a lot better than the other. But should we move on to point number 2?
Let's do it.
What did I say point number 2 was? If you can't make an investment in yourself, how do you expect your clients to do that?
Oh, I love this. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
I talk about this stuff all the time.
Yeah.
Because it's incredible the amount of people that I talk to that say, yeah, dude, like 10 grand, that's a lot of money. They're like, I can't even fathom that amount of money. That's ridiculous.
Yep.
Then they turn around and they get in a meeting and they go, yeah, so it's going to be 10K for 3 months of Facebook ads.
Yeah.
And then their client goes, oh, well, that's a lot of money. And they go, oh,
yeah. Exactly, dude.
That's a lot of money. And so, but like if they would have been like, oh, yeah, dude, like I'll invest 10 grand in credit. Like I'll do that. I'm confident I can make that money back.
Yep.
And then they get in a meeting and the client goes, oh, $10,000 is a lot of money. They can be like, what are you talking about? You think $10,000? Hold up here. Like, have you ever heard of credit? Like, you're a business. You really think 10,000 is a lot?
Yep.
And so then all of a sudden they can be like an anchor and somebody that helps their client through that issue.
Because they've done it themselves.
Exactly. And so honestly, like I really do believe you can only take from the world that which you've put in. Right.
I love that.
I really like have seen that remain so true. And so like if you, and I think it applies to all aspects of business. And so like if you're not willing to invest $10,000 into yourself, you can't expect to bring $10,000 in. Just doesn't, I don't see it working really ever. Sometimes there's exceptions, but it's the same with like other objections. If you don't invest into having good relationships with your family or with your spouse or with people around you, and then your client is having a hard time like getting past their spouse and like figuring that out, you can't help them.
Because you don't actually understand the problem.
Exactly, man.
Yeah. And honestly, like for me personally, I don't know about you, Brian, it's probably a similar outlook on it. But for me, and as cliche as this might sound, as cheesy as it might sound, it genuinely saddens me because of how many people we talk to. It genuinely saddens me how many people I see that have been running around like chickens with their heads cut off for the last 6 months, 8 months. Basically, as people say, all dressed up with nowhere to go. They've been running around in circles, doing a whole lot of nothing and actually getting nowhere. But yet they're still reluctant to make a change. They still will make a conscious choice to stay in the position they're at, thinking something's going to change, which is, as I've said before, it's literally the definition of insanity. You're doing the same exact thing, hoping for a different result. And again, the reason why it saddens me is because most of those people will never get out of that situation.
Mm-hmm.
Never. No matter how hard they push, no matter what they do, because they're never going to change what they're doing.
Yeah, it's interesting, man. Like I've talked to people like this week and in the past weeks that have been like, yeah, Brian, like I want to better provide for my family.
Mm-hmm.
Like I want to be making 30K a month. I want to do X, Y, and Z. And then I go, cool. Like, what are we doing to get there? And they go, oh, well, I'm making a few cold calls here and there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, that obviously those two things aren't going to correlate, right? So let's talk about what we can do on our end to get you to 30K. Let's talk about what that looks like.
Yeah.
And we talk about it, and then they go, oh, like, I'd really just like to get to 30K without any risk, without it being scary.
Exactly.
And that's where most people fall. One analogy I use a lot is like when you want to go up in levels and in income brackets in business, it's so painful, man. It's so uncomfortable. It like hurts. You get this like tightness in your chest and your stomach starts getting like painful. I remember after I invested 5K in my first set of mentors, it made me so physically stressed that I seriously got the flu. Like I was sick because of like how much that investment scared me, but then I made a lot of money back.
Yep.
And so like there's no right or wrong answer here, but the takeaway and the action that everybody needs to like really consider is you need to match your input and your goals. And you need to match your desires and your vision with your input. Meaning, if you really do want to make $300,000 a year and drive a Lamborghini, there has to be a lot more input than, oh, I'm going to hustle and cold call 100 people a day. Like, you're dumb if you think that's going to result in $300K a year.
Yep.
If you say, oh, like, I'm cool making like $5,000 a month and I'm happy with that, like, that makes me happy, like, all power to you. Like, that's super attainable. Invest a few $1,000s in, get your $5,000 retainer, and figure out a system that's good for you. If you're like, oh, I'm broke and like I just need to make a few $100s, or like I'm just kind of interested in this, I really like I'm just taking baby steps, and it's like, cool, that's fine. Go charge businesses a few $100s a month because that's where your commitments level up is at. But don't expect to have $100 commitment and make $10,000. You're always going to be short.
Yep.
So takeaway is all of you need to consider what you want and what you're willing to do to get there, and make sure those two things match up.
100%, man. So another thing I want to touch on, and this might get a little deep, might get a little personal, might hurt just a little bit, right? Don't mind the fucking fire trucks. But so Brian and I talk to a lot of people that are in different situations. You know, we talk to people that have families, you know, they have like these big responsibilities and things that like truly hold a lot of value in their life. And if their situation doesn't get fixed, then other people's lives, you know, kids, wives, things like that can be really greatly affected.
Mm-hmm.
And so what you guys need to think about is, and again, this might hurt a little bit, but, you know, think about it this way. You know, your kids won't have the life that they want. Your grandkids won't have the life that they want. When you get old, you won't have the health insurance you need, right? Because you made decisions in where you're at right now, or a lack of decisions, I should say, because you didn't want to invest X amount, because you didn't want to take the leap and do the thing that you thought was super scary and hard, and it might have actually been at the time. Because of those things, because of the lack of decisions that you made, that result is what you get. You can't take your health insurance. You can't enjoy your life. You can't actually enjoy your life. You can't actually have like the freedom that you want. Your kids can't have it. Things like that. Like, you guys need to take those things into account. So, yeah, I don't know if that makes sense, guys. If it does, you know, drop some comments down below. I'm just trying to see who's jumping on here.
Daniel asked, do you guys consider the Facebook ads / delivering results the hardest part, or is it not a problem once you get it? Honestly, like Sebastian and I were just talking about this. Like, if we're being honest, Facebook ads is pretty easy.
Yep.
It's not very hard to build a landing page on ClickFunnels. It's pretty easy to do, especially for a local business. Like, running Facebook ads like is not difficult. Granted, like if we're talking 20, 30, 40, 50K of ad spend a month and we're building complex ad funnels and layering lookalike audiences, like things are going to get complicated. Like, I wouldn't feel comfortable doing that personally. Yep. But if you were like, Brian, go set up a 2K a month ad campaign for personal trainers, it's like, oh, no brainer. That's pretty easy. You're probably overthinking it, honestly, Daniel.
100%. Most of the time with local businesses, as Brian said, you're not setting up, because don't get me wrong, guys, Facebook ad campaigns, this is totally unrelated to what we were just talking about, but fuck it, we're taking questions. So Facebook ad campaigns, generally speaking, aren't that complicated, as Brian said, but for certain types of campaigns, they can be super complicated. There are times you have to layer different audiences and set up different types of retargeting and different pixels and event codes and all types of crazy stuff, right? So that's when it can feel a little overwhelming. And if that is the case, if you do run into a campaign like that, just hire somebody who's better than you. But 90% of the time, if you're dealing with local businesses, they're usually very simple campaigns, unless they're, you know, Google AdWords campaigns where you have to do a bit of remarketing to target people who already visited your site. Sometimes that can get a little tricky, but if we're talking about Facebook ads, generally speaking, they're not particularly difficult, especially, again, for local businesses. So honestly, man, I wouldn't worry too much about that.
Can you explain your funnel? I need to make sure, dude, sometimes it's hard to read on my phone.
Yeah.
Can you, two-part question. Can you explain your funnel, and do you use face-to-face or Skype call? Can we explain our funnel in regard for clients? You don't really need that big of a funnel. For me personally, it's set up like this. I figure out what their geographic is. I figure out what our offer is and who would be interested in that offer. Most of the time with local business campaigns, really the only targeting layers that you have to do is like demographic and age, sometimes gender. But you're not going to do like very much interest layering if it's a small local business because your audience is so tapped. And then I'll drive them to a destination, either their website or a landing page. I'll set up a pixel on that page and I'll do some retargeting after we get enough data.
Yep.
But like for a local business, it really isn't smart to do very much layering because your audience size will get so small so fast that your CPM is going to be through the roof, and then two, it's just going to not serve as efficiently as you want.
Yep.
Would you agree? Sebastian's better at Facebook ads than I am, so.
Yeah, so with Facebook ads, it's easy to get caught up in the, oh man, I got to build this complicated campaign because it looks better and it feels better that I have all these different things going on. Usually, oh my goodness, guys. Usually, for local clients, the simpler, the better. Less is usually more for local clients.
Yeah.
Whatever their offer is, boom, 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 simple. Set up the backend integrations on Zapier and stuff like that, and that's it.
Yeah.
So let's see what else we got.
Do you close face-to-face or a Skype call? I don't do face-to-face meetings unless it's a big local client and it's worth a good amount of money. Yep. But the majority that Sebastian and I do is just over Zoom. Yep. And as we know, we don't use chatbots. Honestly, like unless I think chatbots are great, but for most like local businesses, they're not going to change the game a lot. I honestly, like if you're below like a few K in ad spend, I would avoid chatbots. It's going to hurt your results. I think where chatbots really come into play is like one, if you have a business that really needs to do a lot of disqualifying, like real estate or lawyers, they can be beneficial there. Or if you're doing a huge amount of ad spend, or if they're depending on their goals, it's kind of complicated. I wouldn't get into them if I were you, honestly. That's just my opinion.
I agree, 100%, dude.
I think they're sexy, but you don't need to get into them.
Real quick, one thing I want to point out, guys. This is literally exactly what we're talking about. Like, people don't know these things, so they get stuck on them and they never get out of the hamster wheel of information overload. Things like, should I use chatbots to funnel? What type of ads, right? Guys, forget about all that shit. If you can't, you can have the greatest Facebook ad campaign ready to rock and roll for your niche, whoever it is. But if you can't sell your service, you have nothing.
Exactly.
You have nothing. You don't have a business. You have a hobby. Like,
yeah, definitely not.
Chatbots and all that shit. Learn how to sell. Learn how to make money.
One of my objections is that if I can deliver, sorry guys, I have to look at my phone because I'm blind, but if I can deliver results to restaurants, making my service worth it for them. So two things there. One, like, it's not about whether or not you can deliver restaurant results. That's not the problem here. It's like what Sebastian was just saying. Exactly. It's like, one, you're not confident in yourself and your own abilities. And then like two, your sales process isn't very good and you didn't build enough trust with your clients. Yep. So like to that point, how I can actually help you. Number one, like either find somebody that's good at Facebook ads or like learn enough to where you feel competent with them. Personally, I've never ran an ad for restaurants, but dude, like because I'm smart, I could go set up an ad right now for a local restaurant. Doesn't have to be complicated like we were saying. And then two, like Sebastian, you and I, like when we're closing deals for our agencies, how often do you actually have somebody like legitimately ask you for case studies or proof?
Never.
It doesn't happen really, to be honest, guys.
And it doesn't matter. That stuff doesn't, that's what I'm trying to tell you guys. Like, don't get caught up in that. Learn to sell, learn to speak properly, learn to build value and build trust and build relationships.
one thing that's kind of sad, I feel bad when I see this, but like I see a lot of people that are like, hey, I just had a meeting and the guy was like super interested. He asked me to send him an email with a proposal. And like guys, like 9 out of 10 times, that's just a polite way of them saying no.
100%.
If the proposal is less than $1,000, there's a good chance they might sign off on it. If you're talking like a 5, 6, 7K contract and their response is send me a proposal and send me an email recap, it's not going to close.
Nope.
It's just not going to happen.
Not happening. 100%. 100%. So let's see. Raymond, what's up? What's up? What's going on, everybody that's just jumping on now? If you are just hopping on right this second, give us a comment. Let us know in the comments down below that you are alive and kicking. And let us know that you are listening and being active listeners. So
Raymond's a killer, man. Raymond's about to blow up.
Savage. Only because he chose to be, though. Let's see. What questions you guys have for us? Obviously, we're talking some shit at you guys, but anytime we jump on live, as you guys know, this is always your opportunity to drill us with some questions. I don't understand, dudes. A lot of times we get on live and like nobody asks questions. Like you're literally getting our time to just consult.
And then they message us with the question right after.
Yep.
Steven said we close proposals for 5 to 10K all the time. Yeah, I'm not saying you can't close them. I'm just saying like a lot of people have a quick 20-minute meeting and then the meeting ends by them saying, okay, like send me a proposal after like not building relationships. And so, yeah, and then he followed up and said, you need to have a plan and a system. Exactly. Unless the relationship's built, the proposal is not going to be signed.
Yep, 100%. 100%.
What is your rebuttal if that does come up? John, what comes up?
Yeah, what's the objection that you're referring to?
Tell us how you get more clients. Oh, you're looking for a silver bullet. That's what you're fishing for right now.
Yep.
You don't want to be looking for silver bullets, man.
Let's see. It's hard to see on the phone, dude.
George, this is a good one for you to answer, Sebastian. What's a simple strategy for high-end local dealers? I have it in my head. You go first, though, and then I'll tell you my thoughts.
Oh, boy. I'm put on the spot now. Oh, shit. So high-end local – was it local auto dealer? High-end. First, I would first start with Google AdWords.
Yeah, same.
Because
I would do Facebook ads. That's what I was thinking as well.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, 100%. Facebook ads is not going to be the game or the breadwinner for you. Google AdWords, because you want to make sure you're getting in front of people who are actually searching for things like luxury auto dealer. Let's say a specific car. Like let's say that
somebody search for Beamers or Audis or like then you can get in front of them.
Right.
Like, yeah, dude, that'd be tough. The only thing you could do on Facebook is target like top 5% income demographic.
No, here's what I would do on Facebook. Here's a really good.
But it'd be tough, dude. It would be hard on Facebook.
Well, here's a good strategy that you guys, or anyone that's watching this, you can implement for your clients. If they have decent traction already, if they already have people coming to their site. So here's what I like to do. Implement for a lot of clients is your main campaign, the main way you're driving people to the site is Google AdWords. That's your main thing. But obviously you're going to lose some people. Some people are going to drop off. Retarget those people on Facebook, right? So don't necessarily don't run a direct response campaign on Facebook trying to sell cars. That will never work. That's what people have this fantasy of, like running a $50 Facebook ad and they're going to sell a freaking Ferrari. Like, it doesn't happen that way. But like it doesn't work that way.
1,000x return on ad spend.
There's no investment in the world that exists. Like, this just doesn't happen. People have this trick. Oh my gosh, dude, it's crazy. So anyways, you want to retarget people that have visited the site, and if they visited the site, it means they're interested. And you can even get way deeper and go with people who visit specific pages, maybe they almost filled out a form, took certain actions on your pages, things like that. So they're interested. Just got to get back in front of them. Things like that is where Facebook really works super well, but not as direct response. Google is really the breadwinner for that.
And you can target a pretty big demographic with that AdWords campaign, because for luxury cars, people will like fly to go pick up cars.
Yeah, 100%.
It's a good one, dude. I think we should do a role play.
Which one? Where are we at?
Michelle said, I have so many potentials that say they want to wait till the beginning of the year to start.
Ooh, I like this one. All right, so Brian, do you want to answer, or do you want me to answer it? Like, do you want to be the client, or you want me to?
You pick.
I'll be the client.
Okay, nice.
Then we could like do the switch where I'll be the salesperson or the marketer, and we'll see which one you like better.
Michelle, I hope you're still here watching this. Ready? Okay, so we'll say we hopped on like a 15-minute phone call, and you start out the call by saying, "Oh, I want to wait till the new year."
Cool.
My answer is going to be different than Sebastian's, guys, so we'll flip roles because we have different styles.
Yeah, exactly. Honestly,
okay, let's.
Yeah, I'll be the client. So honestly, Brian, this whole thing sounds really good. I think it's definitely something I want to do. But here's what I want to do. I want to wait till the new year. You know, probably maybe late January, February, maybe even early March, depending on where how we're feeling. I just want to wait a bit, and then we'll start in a couple months.
Okay, cool. Tell me more about that, man. Where are you coming from with that?
Yeah, I just want to start in the new year fresh, get started off on the right foot. Yeah, and that's kind of just what I want to do.
Yeah, I hear you, man. But tell me why. Tell me more about it.
Honestly, no particular reason. I just really just want to start in the new year. It feels right, Yeah, it's just my thought.
New year, new you kind of thing?
Yeah, exactly, dude.
I hear you, man. Is it like you want to start out the year, or is it just that you're like low key taking December off work and you don't want to dive into something like this right now? Either answer is cool, bro.
Yeah. It's probably, if I'm being honest, it's probably a little bit of both.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, like, really, the question here, it's pretty simple. Like, the answer is either like you're just trying to put this off because you don't want to say no, or the answer is yes, and like you're just thinking like this is sweet, but I really just like don't want to work for the next 3 weeks because I'm gonna be with my family. Like, be honest with me. What's the answer to that?
I just don't. I don't want to hurt your feelings and say no.
Okay, that's cool, man. No worries, brother.
So yeah.
Okay, say yes. Say yes. Or it's end of the year budget issues. Say that.
Yeah, end of the year. Yeah, it could be. The thing is, guys, there could be a variety of responses, but usually they're bullshitting.
Yeah, like a lot of people try and come up with like these magic coin phrases like that are supposed to like fix everything. That's not the way to do it. Like if somebody, Michelle, was like, if he would have said end of year budget issues, I would have just again said like, tell me more about that.
Exactly.
Like, are you saying you literally have $0 right now? Is that what you're saying? Or are you saying that you budgeted $20K for the year for marketing and you didn't adjust your marketing based off of your income? Because if you like, Michelle, you have to call them on their shit. Like if Sebastian was like, oh, well, we spent our marketing budget, I'd be like, what? Like, what does that even mean? Tell me more about that.
Yep.
Like, you're telling me your marketing budget is the same all year depending on your income? Like, you weren't planning on growing your business income this year? Like, you just have to like challenge people and hit them in the face. And so if somebody were like, oh yeah, like I just want to wait till January, and the reason it was like because they just are going to be lazy in December, then it's like super cool, bro. Like, we'll get started. We're going to keep working and we'll have everything ready to go January 1st. Is it going to be a Visa or MasterCard? We'll get you going on the setup fee. If they're like, oh, it's because we don't have budget at this time of year, I would just be like, what does that mean? Like, you're a business. How do you get your marketing budget? And if they said, oh, well, Michelle, we budgeted $50,000 for the year and we already spent it, seriously, I would just go quiet, like scratch my head and be like, seriously? That's how you're choosing to run your business?
Exactly.
Like, that makes zero sense.
Yep.
Like, why would you not, like, you're a small business. You should be adjusting your marketing budget on a quarterly basis. And like, I would call them on that shit hard. And then I'd probably be like, honestly, like, I don't want to work with you. Like, the fact that you're not willing to like flex your marketing budget depending on your income levels just makes zero sense to me. Or the fact that you budgeted your marketing budget poorly and now you're out of marketing budget. Both things are indicators to me that I don't want to work with you.
Yeah, I would tell them that. That scares me.
Yeah.
So here's the thing, guys. The biggest takeaway from what Brian just said, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about objection handling and stuff like that in a second, but the biggest takeaway is that 99% of marketers don't, quite frankly, have the balls to say that. Most people don't have the actual guts within their stomach to say that kind of shit because they're scared. They get overpowered. They think, oh my God, this person's a big business owner. I'm just a little old me in fucking Timbuktu who wants to do some marketing, and I don't want to offend them and hurt their feelings, right? That's why you're failing. Okay? You gotta call business owners out on their shit.
Like Greg said, a few people said end of year tax write-offs. Like, dude, I hate to break it to you, nobody's gonna make a $6,000 decision like just because it's a tax write-off and like that reason only.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, obviously, like big corps will make decisions like that because it's like strategic. But a local business that's doing $200,000 a year isn't going to make a decision purely based off of a tax write-off. No. It's because of a deeper emotional decision. Like, it's an emotional decision, then they'll justify it maybe with tax write-offs. But unless you tap into like their problem, they won't justify it logistically. Does that make sense? So unless you get their emotions in check, you can't get them to make a logical decision.
Yeah, 100%, man. Also, I'll give you guys another example of just a good way to handle an objection. And this isn't necessarily an objection. It kind of is. It's just a stupid thing a lot of prospects might say to you.
We got to wrap it up, man. We're getting into the weeds.
I know, man. We're going deep today. Lucky you guys. A lot of time, well, I don't want to say a lot of times, but sometimes, from time to time, you'll get clients that are more of your do-it-yourself type. They don't really see the value in hiring somebody. They don't think you know your shit, and they think that this whole marketing thing is easy and they can do it themselves. And a lot of times, they'll literally just say that to you on the call. They'll be like, hey, you know what? I've done a little bit of my own SEO. I've done a little bit of my own pay-per-click. Why should I hire you? Why can't I just do it on my own? Actually, you know what? So stupid, right? So actually, you know what? Now that we have 13 people on here, before I tell you what you should be saying, make that 14, I think. I want to hear from you guys. I want to get you fuckers engaged. What would you say?
If somebody said, I'm doing my own SEO and pay-per-click.
Yep, I'm just going to do it on my own. I'm going to continue doing it on my own. Why should I hire you guys? What would you guys say?
Everybody comment, please.
Everybody. And be honest. What would you actually say right now? Comment right now. If you don't comment, I ain't telling you guys what I would say. So, you want the good shit, put something in. Huh?
So especially you, Dean.
Come on, guys. What would you tell a client if they said, hey, you know, I'm doing my own SEO. You know, I'm just going to continue doing it on my own. Or I would like to, right?
Dude, we got some smart people here.
Honestly, I think it's because most of these people were on the sales training on Saturday. So they already got the goodies, bro. They got the goodies, man. Let's see.
There you go, guys. You got it.
Devin, you're cheating the game, bro. You're cheating the fucking system, man. Let's see. Yeah, so a lot of you guys are sales training alum or alumni, whatever the fuck. So, John, I know you watched the sales training. Dean, I know you were on there. Juan, I think you might have been on there. I could be wrong too, but anyway,
they got it, man.
Huh?
That's like spot on.
Yeah. So
call them on it, and then you just sit back inside. And another point before Sebastian talks about his point, guys, that might not even be an objection.
Yeah.
Like, there's difference between a statement and objection. Like, they might just be like, oh yeah, cool, man. Like, I actually do my own SEO and pay-per-click.
Yep.
Just be like, awesome, man.
Yeah. Now, the reason I brought it up is because I've had situations, and I think other people have as well, where the clients would be a little bit almost cocky, and they're like, hey, well, you know, I'm doing my own stuff, right? Why do I need to hire you? Like, I honestly just genuinely believe I could do my own marketing, right? And again, a lot of amateurs fall into the trap of what I call going into defense mode, which is, well, hey, you know, we're really good, and we know more than you, and we're better at marketing than you, and, you know, you probably don't do it as well as we do. No. I sit there and I tell clients, good, go and continue doing it on your own. And I don't follow up with anything like, hey, go do it on your own, and then say like, oh, well, if you don't like the result. No, I literally just say, go do it. Go do it on your own. And I sit there and I don't say a word.
Yeah.
And a lot of times,
a lot of people will, Sebastian, something I see a lot of, now I'm cutting you off. My apologies, man.
okay, dude, it's part of the game.
Another thing I see people doing wrong a lot is they try and like prove them wrong in the sense of like, well, actually, I did an SEO audit and a Google AdWord audit before we even jumped on the call. Yep. And you're only on page 3, your backlinks suck, and you have all these things wrong. And like your Google ads are terrible. I would adjust your copy.
100%.
And what's going to happen is when you do that, they're going to be like, whoa, like, I don't like you.
Yeah, exactly, dude.
I don't like you.
Yup.
And that they're not going to do business with you because you just, one, like, there's a difference between calling somebody shit and being a dick. That's 2 different things. And so, like, you can, like, layer those things in throughout the conversation. But if you just think, oh, like, ha, I got him. I did an SEO audit. You're an idiot. Like, it's not you can't build a relationship that way.
100%. Hundo%. What questions do you guys have? We got 16 people on here. I know
we got 5 more minutes and then we're jumping off.
All right, cool. So we'll go to 2:40. Yeah, because we got a lot of shit to do today, dude. So let's see. What questions you guys have? What are you struggling with? What can we help with? Again, you literally just get a chance to take our time as consultants for you fuckers. Let's see here. Drop some comments down below, guys. Anyways, while you guys come up with some questions, let's just hit on some of the points because I know we have some people jumping on now that weren't here in the beginning.
Let's just ask a fire question.
Yeah, biggest mindset shift for each of you.
You go first.
You go first, dude.
For me, the biggest thing is I'm trying to think of the best way to articulate it. It's like a combination of better understanding money, and then also for me, I would say the biggest thing is learning to go away from materialistic motives is probably the biggest thing that's helped me so far, and like shifting my view on money and impact and things like that.
Yep.
I talk to a lot of like young people, and a lot of like entrepreneurs, they have like a Lamborghini as their screensaver. And like every single like morning they're looking at pictures of Rolexes and things like that. And I used to do the same thing as well. Like I had an Audi R8 as my screensaver, and like I would just be like, I would try and use that to like jack myself up. But the problem is like, one, no, I didn't care about it as much as I actually did, and it was a poor motive. And then 2, like the more I chased money, the farther away it went from me. And so once I learned to like really focus on the things that I wanted in life and the impact that I wanted and the things that I wanted to accomplish and make those things my motivation, everything changed, man. Like now, like Dean talked about like daily affirmation, like, yeah, like now I focus a lot more about the things that I care about, like my wife and my future family, and like even like my business partner, Sebastian, and the ethics that I have, and like the things.
You care about me, dude? Oh, nice.
Yeah, I care about you, man. And like the things that are important to me, and like that motivates me in life more than an Audi R8 ever did. So that for me, that was the biggest thing.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, it's interesting because Brian and I are on pretty similar journeys. So a lot of the shifts that happen in one of us have at least very recently been happening in both of us. So for me, it's actually pretty similar, you know. Let's see what comments we have. I just want to not leave anybody in the dust. Oh, Devin asked a good one. I want to get to that in a second. Oh, we do have like 5 minutes. But so, yeah, for me, guys, biggest mindset shift. Why do I have a problem saying that? What the fuck is wrong with my brain?
New York, dude.
That's what it's got to be. Yeah, it's just not, because it's so interesting that, and I feel like there's got to be some psychology behind this, some scientific reasoning behind this, but when you actually only focus on money and money's your only motive, it continues to run further and further away from you. You never actually get it. It's almost like chasing the hare, I think, or whatever the fucking analogy is. You never actually catch it. But when you just genuinely don't care about money and you're actually caring about the process and you're invested emotionally into what it is you're actually doing, like whatever it is you're doing, not the money, just whatever it is you're doing, and doing it really, really well and actually helping a lot of people, providing a lot of value to people, then the money comes. And everybody says that, right? It's like, just focus on the process, right? But Brian and I are living, breathing examples of that for those of you that don't believe it. I think it's just one of those stupid cliche things a lot of entrepreneurs say. Don't focus on the money, focus on the process, right? It's true. It's true. If you don't believe it, I hope you do now, because it's actually quite scary how true it is, because like it's something that actually works once you change that in your mindset. Like, instead of waking up every day, be like, I must put money in the bank account. I must get that much closer to the Lamborghini, to the Rolex, to that next trip, right? Because here's the thing, guys. What's going to happen is you're going to fall into the trap that so many people fall into of always chasing the next thing. Yeah. Always chasing the next car, the better trip, right? The better house.
I actually had like this experience the other day. I haven't even told you about this, Sebastian, but like, I was like, you know what? Like, I'm going to book a vacation because like I can afford to book a vacation. And I went on Expedia, like I got everything figured out. I was going to like take Katie to Cancun, and I was like, this is going to be sweet. And then I was looking at it, and I hadn't even seen the price yet, really. And I was just like thinking about it, and I was like, you know what? Like, I'm happy like not going to Cancun. Like, for me, it was like it was weird, dude, because like I used to always fantasize about being able to just like book a vacation whenever I wanted.
Yep.
And like when I actually could, I was like, oh, I actually don't care.
Until you actually do it. Yeah. It's so interesting, dude. It's so interesting.
I'll touch on Devin's question first, and then you can go, because I think we'll have different answers.
Yeah.
How to remove emotion when your back is against the wall. That's probably, I think, one of the most difficult situations you can be in life, in my opinion. I think it's so hard mentally to get over that.
Yep.
So I would say two things. Number one, you're going to have to learn to meditate, really meditate, and like start to change your thought process. Like, you're going to have to learn how to do that, and you're going to have to learn how to put yourself in a positive, abundant mindset through meditation frequently. And then number two, you have to be so stupid strict with yourself about doing your daily workload. Like, it's crazy, dude. I remember after I dropped money on my first mentor, it like put my bank account at zero. I was in the negative a little bit. And it's crazy, dude, because like you would think like I would be like motivated to the nth degree. Like it was weird, man. Like my head was motivated, but like my emotions weren't.
Yep.
So what would happen is like I would wake up in the morning and my head would be like, you gotta make money, you gotta do X, Y, and Z. But like, dude, I just like had no energy. I was drained, and like all day it was just like a fight just to like sit at the computer. And I know you've had days like that too.
More than I can count.
So Devin, the biggest thing for you, man, is just going to be like constant meditation and like understanding your daily workload and being stupid strict about getting that done on top of really strong mindset meditation.
Yep. 100%, man. Couldn't really have said it better myself, to be honest. So we'll answer one more question, and then just going to leave you guys with some ending sort of thoughts. William said, what's one expectation you had going into entrepreneurship but were completely wrong about? That's a great question. I love that question. So
I know mine. Easy.
Yeah. If you go first, because I have my answer.
Mine was like, I so underestimated the workload and mental taxation that happens as an entrepreneur.
Yep.
Because everybody talks about like financial time freedom, like bullshit yet. Like everybody talks about that. Like, why do you want to be an entrepreneur? So I can be time free and live off of my laptop. The people that say that haven't started a business yet.
100%. 100%.
And like, dude, having businesses is so stressful. Like, my mind never turns off.
Never. So honestly, if I'm being like 100% transparent, you could look at it as a blessing and a curse. It's usually more of a blessing than a curse, but sometimes it's the opposite. So, William, to answer your question, what was like our biggest, our biggest expectation it was, right? Yeah, going into entrepreneurship that we figured out was actually completely wrong. Yeah, the mental and emotional taxation of just trying to run a business. Because you go in, right? You go in all happy, hype, fucking pumped up. You just watched like 10 Tony Robbins videos, fucking got that shit plugged, and you're like, boom, I'm ready to crush this shit. But then you go and actually do stuff.
You sit down at the computer.
You sit down, you actually start calling businesses. You actually start talking to people and trying to do things, and you realize how fucking hard it is, right?
Dude, let's get vulnerable and tell about some things like we've been struggling with lately.
Say it again.
I said let's get a little vulnerable and tell them about like some things we've been struggling with.
Yeah, let's do it, dude.
Sebastian and I are both like around the 40, 50K a month mark right now. And guys, like you're gonna hate us for this, but there was a day like 2 weeks ago now. We had we had probably like, what would you say, like 15, 20 grand in the bank, both of us, and like,
oh yes.
Guys, I'm not kidding. We had like 15, 20K liquid cash. We had like, both of us had sales coming in, and dude, we called each other, guys, and the conversation went like this. I was like, dude, Sebastian, I feel like shit. And he's like, what do you mean? I was like, dude, we're so poor.
Yep.
And he's like, what are you talking? He's like, dude, I feel the same way. I was like, dude, we are just like such losers, man. And dude, we both were just sitting there like, oh my gosh, we suck.
It's true.
Like,
I'm laughing right now, but it's fucking true.
And guys, like, I felt sick. Like, I was so unmotivated. Like, I just felt so bad about myself. And like, dude, we were both like in a bad place for like a few hours there. And it took us like a lot of like pep talk to get out of that dark place.
Yep.
And everybody watching is like, you fuckers, like you had 20 grand and you were like stressed. But yeah, dude, there's a lot of emotional like pain that goes into starting a business. It's crazy. So honestly, there's been days where I'm just like, wow, like I need a 9 to 5. It'd be so much easier. So it's
true pain. And the thing is, guys, like, as most of you, for those of you that are watching right now, and for those of you that watch the replay that have been following me for a bit and even following Brian more recently, as you guys can probably tell already, we're just 100% transparent. We will never sit here and give you fluff. We'll curse at you, we'll scream at you, we'll hurt your feelings a little bit, but we're going to tell you what you need to hear. We're going to tell you the real shit. And the real shit is what most people don't want to talk about because it hurts. And most people don't want to tell you because they're trying to sell you some shit. And they want you to feel good. They want you to feel all high and happy, right? But the fucking truth is, this game of I wrote a post about this the other day. This game of entrepreneurship is not a fucking joke.
Yeah, dude.
It's not a joke. And a lot of times it is so freaking stressful. Like, it's like true emotional pain. Like, not like, I'm just kind of feeling like down today. No, like shit that actually puts you in a depressed fucking mood.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to let you guys know, like, it's not a fucking game. I know this is not a therapy session, but we're giving you guys some real shit here.
So yeah, that goes back to our points earlier, though, man. This is a good way to wrap everything up. Like, if you're not 100% positive what you want, don't expect too much. And then number 2, don't expect to take out of the world that which you have not put into it, right? So if you do want to make $10,000 in the month of January, you need to expect to put at least 5,000 in. I would say pretty consistently, I've seen about like pretty consistent 2 to 3x returns on my self-investment.
Yep.
If you want to make 10 grand next month, you better be willing to put 5,000 in.
Yep.
If you only want to make 5,000, cool. Like, just put 2,500 in. It's completely up to you.
Yep.
But like, the reason that you're only making $0 as an entrepreneur right now is probably because you put less than $1,000 into it. Yep. And so, yeah, guys, that's kind of wrap everything up. If you have like some personal issues that you're going through, like in no way are Sebastian and I even close to like counselors or therapists. That's kind of like even scary to think about Sebastian and I as therapists, but
I don't want that responsibility, dude.
But if you guys do feel like you just need to chat with somebody off of like a live stream, definitely like shoot us a message and we'd love to talk to you. So.
Yeah. We're again, we're transparent, guys. We're not like these other entrepreneurs. I don't have to name names because you guys know who they are, who are just, as we call, at least this is a term we say here in New York, we call people like Hollywood when they just start acting fake and they think they've got a little teeny tiny bit of success, so they forget where they came from and they're not humble anymore. If you guys have been following me, I've been the same fucking way since December of last year. Like, it's just who I am. And Brian's the same way. So if you guys want to talk, if you're ever feeling down or whatever, you want some help, do not hesitate to message us. Don't ever be like, oh, man, I'm sure they're so busy they won't take my message. No. We're here to help as many people as possible. So, yeah, that was a pretty intense live. I only expected to be on for 20 minutes and tell you guys why you're failing. It turned into a Q&A session, a therapy session, all wrapped into one. But fuck it, it's what we do. So
some lunch, man.
I know. I'm starving, man. I'm hungry. All right, guys, that's it. We're gonna jump off. Again, if you guys ever want to talk, shoot us a message, and we are gonna be doing some more lives in this group. I know I've kind of been slacking, so you'll be seeing more of my.
That's like 1 or 2 a week.
Yeah, 100%. So you'll be seeing more of our faces pretty soon. So, all right, guys, signing off. Talk to you guys.